refer to it. Now, not always, but most of. Oh, crap.
Hey everyone, it's time for another episode of DarkMatch. I'm Teefus. And I'm your mastodon of the monotone, Christopher says. And I'm Digi-fox, and I like foxes. And I'm Alli. I didn't watch the show, but I'm on a show right now, so it's cool. Yeah. Hey, why don't we read an Al Snow tweet? Those are always pretty funny. Yeah, those are pretty funny. His perverse sense of humor, it makes me laugh because it's funny. I agree, it's really funny. Uh, uh you know what? I'm not even gonna try. I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, give me a second here. Hey everyone, it's Teefus here, and well, we kind of had some technical difficulties with recording our No Surrender show. We taped it just before Raw. It ran from a little after 7 to about 20 minutes before Raw, and well, wouldn't you know it, when I hit pause or stop or whatever it is on the recorder that we use, it didn't save. Apparently, I've got the most recent version of the Skype recorder, and Skype just upgraded itself to a new version, and I've got that version because I downloaded it yesterday, and they don't connect. So we lost the file, or more specifically, I lost the file, and I'm sorry for that. I apologize. I don't know what to tell you other than doing a quick and dirty rundown of what we thought of the show. We thought it was a pretty good show by TNA standards. It was actually the best pay-per-view they've done in a few years now. Something I said and everyone kind of concurred with. Alli didn't really watch the show, even though he was on the show. He just kind of chimed in whenever he could. We ran with a few little jokes here and there, typical stuff. Big thing that really weighed this show down was an overabundance of Bully Ray interviews, which Christopher Says kept pointing out, and can't argue with him. Every goddamn match was buffered by a Bully Ray interview. And let's see what else we had. They actually did something good that I liked. It was the 10th anniversary of 9/11. Kind of very sentimental, kind of tough time for some people, myself included specifically. I have a tough time with it. Some people thought, all that stuff is kind of annoying and overbearing, and I agree with them. It is over annoying and overbearing. I really, you hear all that stuff and you just want to kind of avoid it. It gets to be too much. But TNA did probably the best that they could in terms of acknowledging it and not spending too much time on it and trying to take advantage of it. They had a moment of silence at the start of the show where all the performers came out on the stage and stood there with their heads bowed in respect and everything. And Jess Neal, who was a sailor on the USS Cole when it got attacked by the Taliban in 1998, was wearing his sailor uniform, even though he wasn't on the show anywhere else. I would have liked to see him on the show. He's actually kind of one of the more entertaining people in that company, but whatever. He was front and center in his sailor uniform, which I thought was a nice touch. Sarita was right, not Sarita. I keep getting their names mixed up. Rosita was right there, front and center with him. She was, I think, 9 or 10 years old when 9/11 happened. Her father was up on floor 103 of the North Tower when the plane hit, and about the best thing you can say about that was, it happened quickly. He didn't suffer. I can very well relate to that, and how she must be feeling this time of every year. Kind of a downer, but it was a very tasteful little spot. Nice, respectful thing. They didn't dwell on it, and on with the show. They got right into it. Bully Ray and Robert Roode won the Bound for Glory series matches that they had tonight, and they went ahead and had an unscheduled final match for the tournament, in which Robert Roode won with shenanigans. And actually, that was another big problem with this show is the shenanigans. There were a lot of shenanigan spots. They weren't they weren't bad shenanigan spots. Like the shenanigan spots made sense for the most part. Except for the one in the Knockouts title match with Winner spitting blood and Angelina's face on accident, and then the ref trying to help her. Oh my God, are you okay? You're not even in the match. Why do I give a fuck about you? And then Winner spitting blood in Mickie James's face and pinning her for the win. Didn't make any sense at all. But whatever. The other ones, they would have made sense if they had come off right, but none of them came off right. I don't know if it was overbooking or they just didn't put enough effort into making them work like they should have been in the planning stage. But they just sucked. Like, Bully Ray actually had to very noticeably adjust where James Storm's beer was during his match against him to make their overbooked finish work. And it's just like, what, guys, come on. You know, you figured it out that you don't want the over gimmicky stuff. Don't overbook it. Don't try it. In the Mexican America versus Devon and Pope match for tag team titles, they had like 7 or 8 interferences from Rosita and Sarita, and only one of them looked good. Only one of them worked. There was actually a spot where, Earl Hebner, like just in the first match that this happened in was James Storm versus Bully Ray, where just for James Storm accidentally spitting beer in the face of the referee, he got DQ'd. Whereas, spitting beer in the face of Bully Ray wouldn't have gotten DQ'd, but somehow that got him DQ'd. In the very next match, Earl Hebner is standing there staring at Angelina, holding Mickie James against the ropes, and all of a sudden has a sudden lapse of memory and like, oh yeah, I'm not supposed to be seeing this, and turns and runs away from the camera real quick, and it's like, you clearly saw that violation of the rules. What the fuck, dude? And so shenanigans. But the one shenanigan that actually worked well was surprisingly from Mexican America. I can't remember who it was in the corner, but he was kind of leaning up in the corner like they do, like, oh my God, my face hurts or whatever. And Hernandez and Anarquillo had been double teaming him, and the ref went to back. I think it was Hernandez out of the ring, just like backing him out of the ring, like, get the fuck out of my ring. And Anarquillo just dropped to all fours in front of the guy in the corner, and all of a sudden, this little 70-pound girl runs across the ring, uses his back as a springboard, and jumps up and does a sweet-looking drop kick on the guy in the corner. So Sarita gets props. Best shenanigans moment of the night. It's like, what the fuck? Dude, I hate you, but that was awesome. Yeah, it was a good segment from usually very annoying stable, to say the least. Not sure what else really goes on there. Robert Roode won the Bound for Glory tournament. Triple threat match for the world title. 3 guys you don't care about. 3 guys that don't deserve to be there. Anderson, no one gives a fuck about him. No one takes him seriously as a main eventer or a world champion. Why the fuck was he shoehorned into this title match in the first place? He doesn't belong there. He's out of place there. There's no reason to have him there. Sting, how many fucking title matches has this guy been in since he came back to the company? How many title matches was he in before, in his first run with this company? Like, how many, since he's come back from this company, you can count how many world title matches he has not been in on one hand. And there's a huge problem with that when he's a guy that consistently says, oh, I'm coming to work here to help the younger talent and help them, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, no, bullshit, dude. Very clearly, being in the title picture or having the title is in your contract somewhere because you are involved in it at every fucking turn. Um, so I don't believe you for a second when you say you're there to help the younger guys. Bullshit. You're taking advantage of your status, dude. And Kurt Angle, third fucking DUI, and you retain the championship. You know, there's another company that, you know, if you get pulled over and you have legal troubles with substance abuse, they take the fucking title off you and send you to rehab. But no, in this company, apparently, if you're the champion, you get busted for DUI. Yeah, you can still be champion. Whatever. I don't care. None of the other matches really mattered. 2 title changes. The X Division title changed hands. It is now held by Austin Aries. It was a pretty good. It was a pretty good match, despite Brian Kendrick having making a political statement with his ring attire, which I thought was entirely inappropriate. And I'll say this, you know, as a veteran of the Iraqi War that helped build schools and medical facilities and police stations and things for the Iraqis to use for themselves, and you know, U.S. funded, U.S. built, and Iraqi built, and then Iraqi used. We just turn it over to them. It's theirs to keep. And if they need maintenance on it later on down the road, we still offer to help build some of that, fix some of their stuff up, whether we help build it initially or not. That's what I would join the army to do. So I got nothing against Muslims or Islam. I completely understand that there's terrorists out there that are not Muslim. The Muslims that are terrorists are an extreme minority of Muslims. They don't represent all of Islam. But you know, on the 10th anniversary of 9/11, on a wrestling show, not even a political show, a wrestling show is not the place, the time, or the place for a known conspiracy theory believer to wear wrestling attire that has a crescent moon and star on it. It's like, what, you know, not if you support Islam and you know their struggle to not be labeled as terrorists, that's cool. I totally agree with that, but that's not the show to make that statement on. That's not that show. Don't make that statement on that show. You know, it's called tact. It's called discretion. Use it, Brian Kendrick, please. Little Mr. Reptilian Overlord. You know, tinfoil on hat, dope smoking jackass that couldn't keep a job in the WWE despite having all the talent in the world and Shawn Michaels vouching for you. Keep some focus. And other than that, and the very tasteful ceremony at the start of the show, and other than that very tasteful ceremony at the start of the show, and this one little political statement that when you see it, you're just like, it completely distracts you from everything else in the match, and you're just like, what are you trying to say? You know, just be Brian Kendrick. Don't be Mr. like political statement guy, because it doesn't work and it's not going to help you. It's not going to endear you to anybody, because people don't watch wrestling for politics. They watch it for wrestling and goofy wrestling characters, not political statements. So save it for when you're on Fox and Friends or whatever. I don't know what you go on. I don't care. So yeah, that's pretty much the show. Kid Cash is there. Big fucking deal. Sorensen was his opponent, and if you don't know who Sorensen is, don't feel bad, because no one does. He's kind of a new face in general to anyone that, you know, didn't happen to see the company that he trained with on the indies. So look for some interesting stuff from Sorensen when he gets a little bit more screen time. Yeah, other than that, not really sure what else to say, because this was a pretty decent pay-per-view, especially by TNA standards. By WWE standards, it would have been a bland, forgettable, like, what was the point of having the show kind of pay-per-view? But for TNA, it was a good pay-per-view. And that kind of puts them in an awkward position. You know, we discussed this at the beginning of the show that I lost. Sorry. Where TNA, which is known for normally being so bad it's hilarious, all of a sudden is finding themselves in this very bland middle of the road kind of area, and you know, where people that watch it regularly would say, yeah, you might check it out, it's you know, bad, but it's at least funny to watch how bad it is. When those people tune in to see it, they're gonna be like, well, my friend said this is funny. It's not even funny. It's just kind of meh. It's just there. Why no, I'm not gonna sit through 2 hours of this. So they're not gonna grow their audience. They're not. And the more bland you are, the more your audience is going to shrink. You know, people are just going to not tune in because nothing interesting is really happening. Then you turn around, and on the flip side of that, if you don't gain traction and you don't really hurry to continue improving the show to where, hey, this is good. This is a good product. I want to see it. I want to watch more of this. What's going to happen next week? You're not doing yourself any favors. You stay where they're at right now, assuming they're consistent, which would be a first for TNA in the quality of their product. They need to. This would be one time that it does not benefit them to stay consistent, and if they have any kind of business sense at all, they're going to change their consistency for the better. But doubt that's going to happen. So either watch them fuck this up by staying where they are, or watch them fuck this up by going back to be hilariously bad. Hopefully they make it better for the talent that's involved. Hopefully they do, but I don't know. Oh, and they did have a very short and sweet, and very emotional interview. Like, she held it together really well, but you could tell there's just a lot of emotion there. They did a short interview with Sarita about, damn it, I did it again. Not Sarita, Rosita. I'm sorry. Similar names. I'm sorry. They did a short interview with her about, you know, 9/11, and you know what? If you're gonna do something like that, yeah, she's the best person to do that with, and she's so young. She's only like 19 or 20 right now, and you know, she's doing that. She's living a dream. It might not be WWE, but you know, she's probably one of the better known female wrestlers out there now, just by virtue of being with this company. So, you know, good luck to her. Let's hope her career keeps going and improves, and she constantly gets better, and she only ever gets better. Not that she's doing too badly for herself right now, but hopefully she's like a fine wine. She gets better with age, you know. So, with that, again, I'm Teefus. You would, if the show had gone off as planned, you would have seen Digi-fox, or not seen, but heard Digi-fox, Alli, and Christopher Says along with me. And everyone else would have been chiming in with us, because we're like, you know what, normally we don't like people interrupting when they're not on the show, but we were like, you know what, screw it, everyone interrupt. Throw it out there. So you would have had Arrow, Backlash, No Leaf, and I think Revolver Man was there for a little bit, but I'm not so sure. But yeah, don't worry, we know what the problem is. We'll get it fixed. We'll work around it, and your regularly scheduled programs will be back as soon as possible, i.e. Tuesday, tomorrow. Yeah, Tuesday and Wednesday. Look for the new episodes for Raw and SmackDown, and look for the new episode for Impact on Thursday or Friday, or whenever we get it out to you, Friday at the latest. And life goes on. So for DarkMatch, covering the TNA No Surrender pay-per-view for 2011, I'm Teefus. I apologize once again. You missed out on us beating a brand new running gag into the ground. But don't worry, we'll bring it back next time, because it drives No Leaf mad that we do that. So, until next time, good night and good luck.
You have got to be kidding me. This is not even funny. Seriously?